And let's get it. This is the Back Row Bengals show previewing the Bengals versus the Ravens. Merry Christmas. Happy whatever you celebrate. Thank you so much for listening in. I wanted to just hop on and start previewing the game. I know I haven't been able to get a podcast out recently. My family does a lot of things a little bit differently. We celebrate Christmas on the Christmas Eve, so then today is kind of like a rest and relaxation day. So we couldn't really get anything out yesterday, and my guest, Strawberry Ice, couldn't make it. He's got his own family things, and then that's okay. But wanted to hop on today early before I go out and set off on some family activities because this is the biggest game of the year so far. So let's jump right into it. First, real quick, let's do some station identification. This is the Back Row Bengals show, all brought to you by fansided.com and a Minute Media. Go over to Fansided right now. You can read some of my blogs and enjoy a lot of content that you usually wouldn't get from some main staples like ESPN or Sports Illustrated because it's all brought to you by the fans. So and you get the best from the fans. So it's definitely go over there and grab a read. Um, Again, I apologize for not being able to get this out earlier on my usual Thursday time. I know we did Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday just wasn't working. I couldn't get a guest lined up. It just, and then all of a sudden you get caught up, and then a lot of people, a lot of you guys know how um, depression works. A lot of it'll make even like the smallest task or something that you love seem like an absolute mountain to accomplish. And that kind of hit me. And then once family came over, then there was nothing I could do. And then after that, it was just like we're just gonna have to focus up and go through with it. But anyway, I'm gonna close this so the lighting's a little bit better. There we go. But anyway, we got some new additions to the oh shoot, dropped my phone. We got some new additions to the podcast. If you're watching live, which I doubt that you are, because you probably open up some Christmas presents under the Christmas tree. But if you are not, and you're watching this on YouTube or you're watching it live, we got a brand new face cam. That way, I'm looking very spiffy. Actually, today I look absolutely awful because it's been a long couple of days. But yeah, anyway, you're going to be seeing me a high definition at 1080. How about that? 1080, stepping up the game. Then we will have a green screen up. I have it. I have to set it up, and we don't have a stand for it, so we need to do that and get that. And then we got some headphones, studio headphones too, so that way when we get guests calling in, I'll look like an actual podcaster. But anyway, we got a lot to talk about here. This is the game that the Bengals could deliver the knockout punch to the Baltimore Ravens. Really could set us up. I mean, that'll be 2 games ahead of Baltimore. Excuse me. That'll be a game ahead of Baltimore, and then also on top of that, you get the head to head. There it is. So if the Ravens still find a way to tie us, we still get the head to head, and we still knock them out. And we still win the AFC North. Right now, as reading the injury list, it looks like Tyler Huntley is expected to play. However, both him and Lamar Jackson are questionable. I believe it is due to, I believe Tyler Huntley is due to COVID, and Lamar Jackson is due to an ankle injury. I would not be surprised if Lamar comes back tomorrow and it's going to be a game time decision. But if he doesn't, I think that the Bengals will be set up in a great position either way. Tyler Huntley and Lamar Jackson are both very similar. Huntley has made his money. He's played incredibly well. Played very well against the Packers. He's 1 2 point conversion away from beating. Excuse me, from beating the Packers. He's showed up really, you know, showed up a lot this year. Now it's going to be a little bit easier for the Bengals than it was the Packers because now we have the film out on Tyler Huntley, so now we can game plan around it. But again, from what I saw, the offense didn't change that much in that Green Bay Ravens game. So I think it's going to be a lot of what we have already seen from the first game here. We got to clean this up. You can't let Mark Andrews beat you. So the Bengals have a hard time when there is one superstar. I go back to Devontae Adams. I go back to George Kittle against the Niners, and I go back to, like I said, Devontae Adams against the Packers. When there is one superstar, the Bengals seem to have a hard time either doubling him up, keeping him out of the play, because I think honestly, the way for the Bengals to win this game, they have to force either Huntley or Lamar, whoever's in the backfield, to make plays every other player besides Mark Andrews, because Mark Andrews, the whole offense is running through him because I mean they're so injury riddled, and I mean Mark Andrews is a stud, so you got to force somebody else to beat you. You can't let the player like George Kittle beat you, the player like Devontae Adams beat you. You can't let that superstar beat you. You got to force it to the other parts of the team, the weaker parts of the team, and then you go from there. And then obviously, I think the Bengals will be in good shape. I worry about the linebacking room. I think everybody is worried about the linebacking room. I mean, it's Logan Wilson being out, obviously, that's huge. We would love to see Bocce come back, but I don't think he is going to be back for a while. I'm taking a look at Bocce's on the injured reserve. That's right. He's going to the IR, so he's not going to be back. Where we got Chidobe Awuzie is going to be out, which is again that's a tough loss right there. And then another part of the linebacking room, Akeem Davis Gaither, is also on the IR. So really, really tough losses there in the linebacker room. And this goes back to where the Bengals should have probably picked up Zach Cunningham. And it's starting to bite them right now because, I mean, I know that this organization has done a lot of things differently, a lot of things better over the past couple of years and with free agency and such, and they've done better. However, this last that linebacking room was starting to get thin. Logan Wilson gets injured, and then just like that, and this injury bug's creeping up, and the Bengals did not make a move, and we're feeling the ramifications of that now. We let Zach Cunningham go. That being said, you still got some playmakers in the linebacking room. You still got Marcus Bailey, who's been playing very well. Jermaine Pratt has really grown into the role of the lead linebacker, and going into his rookie year, and he was not great. He had a lot of question marks. Um, I didn't trust him. I didn't think Jermaine Pratt would be that good. I really didn't. But he has 15 tackles against Denver. He's been playing very well this year. He's playing like a lead linebacker behind Logan Wilson. I think he's a great second backer. But now, I mean, with Logan Wilson out and now Bocce out, now he has to take control. And the guy on the other side is Marcus Bailey. So this is going to be again another tall task for Lou Anarumo to be able to put these guys in position in order to win this football game. Excuse me. I don't know why my notification sound is on, but excuse me. At any rate, the Lou Anarumo is going to have his absolute hands full. I think it was a lot like kind of what I said with the Niners game. This is going to be Lou's probably hardest game because now he's not only is he getting these players ready, he doesn't even have his starters, and he's got to stop the Ravens offense, which is a lot easier said than done. Now, them being injured is pretty helpful to us, but we are also injured at that spot. This is where the absence of Logan Wilson is going to really be felt here. I know that a lot of the national media is picking the Ravens to win right now. ESPN has the Bengals winning, I believe, at a 56% chance, 53% chance, excuse me. And being at home that helps out a lot. Having a familiar opponent that helps out a lot. But again, who's the quarterback you're going to get on Sunday? How good are they going to be? And then can you stop them with your backups? That's going to be the tail of the tape here. I think this is going to be a low scoring game, very low scoring game. But anyway, so let's jump over to the offensive side of the ball. Joe Burrow did something that he struggled with over the past couple of years. In the last game against Denver, he did not turn the ball over. He didn't force shots. He rolled out of the pocket. His pocket awareness started out really shaky. You couldn't really tell where he was going, but then it got better and better as the game went on. It picked up a lot of really big first downs. And Joe Burrow really actually had a really, really good game, even though it doesn't show on the numbers. He had a lot of, yards of, scrambling out, making plays on his own, not forcing the ball, getting the first down on like a 3rd and 3, a 3rd and 4 where we need it, and gets it with his legs. He had one where he got it once it was 3rd and 8. But anyway, Joe had a really good game when he doesn't throw for 300. He doesn't have 3 touchdowns. And sometimes, that's why you drafted him. That's exactly why you drafted him, is to win you games when everything's going wrong, when your offense isn't working, or Tyler Boyd is having himself a day, but Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are not. Um, but yeah, anyway, that's why you drafted Joe. That's why. Because if you're not gonna trust your quarterback, and we're gonna get into this a little bit here, if you're not gonna trust your quarterback to go out there and go get a win and go get some W's and to put the team on his back even when something isn't working all the way, then you need to trust him. You need to trust uh, your guy because if you don't, you might as well have picked up Chase Young in that draft class and drafted somebody else. That being said, we need to see that. We need to see the explosion of the receiving core come out again. I mean, Joe Mixon, he's not all the way injured, but he's definitely coming out a little banged up. So we need to have the passing attack be very, very, you know, agile. They need to be ready to go. They need to be able to spring loose a couple of big time touchdowns. You can't be going into these lulls. You can't score 15 points against the Ravens. That's not going to get it done. Denver has a really, really good defense. I understand that, and that's one of the reasons why they have 7 wins. But at the end of the day, Denver's not a great team. They just aren't, and the Ravens are a good team. That's why we're in a playoff race with them. So we have to, keep their defense, or excuse me, keep their offense off the field and give our receivers a chance to go out there and win the game. I mean, we did that. Jamar Chase helped us win that game. Let's see if we can get T. Higgins going. And then last week, Tyler Boyd, man. I mean, he just finally shows up and has himself an absolute ball game. And it's really, really, really great to see Tyler Boyd get his number called and have him be ready to go because he was ready to go. And it speaks to the character that Tyler Boyd has to be able to win that game and get the 50-yard touchdown and then make the big catch at the end of the half to make it a 58-yard field goal for Money Mac to absolutely pipe it. Anyway, so we need more of that, and now it's time for all the receivers to show up here, and hopefully we can get CJ Uzama involved a little bit more. I would love to see more routes go to CJ. I think he's an absolute menace when he has the ball in his hands. I think his yards after catch are immaculate, and he makes plays. He really does. I mean, we've seen it all year, but we've only seen it in spurts. We need to see it consistently. We need to see consistently CJ getting the ball time and time again. But anyway, that being said, this offense, it's gonna be a knockout. It's an AFC North game. It's what we are. It's the AFC North. So you need to have an AFC North style of game. So that means getting the ground game going, playing physical. We're gonna be, I mean, having a couple offensive linemen out is really going to be tough for the Bengals. I mean, Fred Johnson's out, which is going to be tough. I believe we get Riley Reef back, so that'll be really, really nice. The Bengals right now are opening up on pickcenter.com as -4.5. Again, it's going to be the tail of the tape is going to be the injuries and how you're going to let it affect you. So you need your guys to step up. You need Jonah Williams to step up. Need this offensive line to have themselves a really, really good game. And hopefully the Ravens are going to be blitzing a lot because Joe, that's when he does best is when the Ravens are blitzing. Excuse me. When teams blitz against him, that's when he is on fire, and that's when he gets most of his production. So hopefully we're going to see more of Baltimore trying to bring some pressure. So that's all starts with the offensive line having a really, really good game and not letting their defensive tackles win the line of scrimmage. If they're going to want to get to Joe, then they're going to have to blitz, and if they blitz, I mean, Joe works magic when he's getting blitzed on. So if that can happen, you can get the Baltimore to start blitzing on defense and do things that they that work against Joe. Then I think the Bengals will be just fine. I am predicting a win here, and then hopefully, I mean, if the Bengals can get a W here, then just like that, you're looking at not only getting into the playoffs, you're looking at the AFC North champion, you're looking at home playoff game, you're looking at a lot of different outcomes here. So I'm predicting a win here. Hopefully, we get some help from the Packers today. Don't. I don't trust. It's not that I don't trust the Bengals to go into Cleveland and win at the end of the year. I would prefer it if it's won before we got there, because you never know with that type of game, an AFC North Battle of Ohio type of thing. You never know what might happen. So At any rate, I still think the Bengals win here. I think they move on to 9-6, and I think they knock. This will be the knockout blow to the Ravens. They've taken 2 losses in the division to the Bengals, and there's just another AFC North team you're not going to have to worry about. And then just like that, it's down to 1. Hopefully, we can get some help from the Packers today against the Browns. And yeah, so we've ran about 15 minutes. So I mean, there's not much. Usually, when we have a guest, we'll go really long. But I mean, it's Christmas. I got to go play golf with my mom. She got a brand new set for her, for her Christmas. So we're gonna go out and hit a couple balls here. So they live on a golf course, so that'll be pretty fun. And yeah, and I'm enjoying this new camera 10A. You guys get to see how tired I look and these bags under my eyes here. Like, God, this is a bad look. Now I need a makeup person. That's what I need right there. At any rate. So I hope all you have a Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for listening in. This has been the Back Row Bengals show. Let's go get a W tomorrow and let's figure it out. Let's go get a win. And Stripe Squad's gonna be out there. So let's get it done. All right, see y'all later. Hooray! Peace. All brought to you by